What's up YouTube, this is Mishap, and today we're going to take a look at Ashes of Creation. We'll be covering the hybrid combat system and briefly looking at the siege game mechanic. Now bear in mind that this is the first pass of the system and an early iteration of what to expect, so this will of course change depending on how testing goes through the alpha and beta test stages. So let's get into it. Now, the combat in Ashes of Creation mixes traditional MMO tab targeting like World of Warcraft with action combat similar to that of Elder Scrolls Online or Black Desert. Now this will depend on how you spend your skill points, which allow players to mix how they want their combat to be played out. Players will be allowed to allocate points into active and passive skills that can augment their usage of weapons, armor, as well as enhance their player stats such as health and mana. An example of an augmented ability would be a greater chance of your dagger proccing a bleed effect, having your foe bleed out like the punk he is. Now players can switch their combat view and have their view locked to their mouse cursor as shown in this video, giving you a more action orientated feel. They've also stated that in the future this mode will allow you to hover over your target, highlighting it and displaying information such as target level, distance and health. Personally, I like the traditional MMO style that lets you zoom out a bit more and engage with the environment and get that full immersion. Here you can see how that dynamic would work with a combination of the tab targeting used to pull the target closer and then using combat via the left mouse button to attack the target with your weapon and finish him off. It is worth mentioning however that every weapon will have an action based left click attack whether you choose to use it or not, and this is for weapons only and not skills. Another thing worth mentioning is that all weapons will have a cone of attack which will allow some form of multiple target attacks depending on the weapon. Daggers will have a fine cone of attack, swords a slightly larger one, and polearms will just be ridiculous and pretty much take out the entire area. I'm kidding of course, I do not think they do that, and I don't think anyone will actually be using polearms. And if you do, leave a comment in below so we can make fun of each other. For those glass cannons out there who need to get in and out in combat fast, not to worry, there will be a dodge mechanic for you to get out of the way so you don't have to block that attack with your face. Some other noteworthy abilities is the mage's ability to give some of their mana to other players to top them up, allowing them to keep going. Finally a use. All in all, it looks like some amazing stuff coming out in terms of combat, and it'll be interesting to see how it develops over the next alpha and beta test phases. But next up we're going to have a look at the one mechanic or raid mechanic, which is castle sieges. Castles are similar to a guild raid system where guilds will be able to register to attack the castle with other guilds every 30 days. And once a guild owns the castle, and the longer the guild holds the castle, the better their overall benefits will be, such as levying taxes on nodes beneath them, establishing a king or queen's presence which provides benefits to those that live within their presence, or have special relationships with mayors to build up nodes that spawn around the castle or castle dedicated nodes that are not tied into the general world structure but are dedicated to building the castle's defenses as well as economic benefits that come with it. Now unknown castles or castles not yet owned by a player guild will be owned by monsters or NPCs with a raid boss and tasks to complete in order to take control. Now should there be multiple guilds taking part, one of the mechanics used to determine who takes control of the castle will be who had the highest contribution of damage. Now this is one of the few game mechanics and we don't quite know what that system will look like in the end, but I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Players will need to come prepared, so you will have access to siege weapons such as trebuchets, siege towers, as well as some ballistas and a couple of other bits and bobs that, well, honestly we'll just have to wait and see. Should the castle be player owned, players will attack the castle as normal on the 30-day period, then using the ceiling mechanic on the central relic, take control of the castle. You will also be able to attack the castle outside of the siege periods, where there will be smaller mobs for you to skirmish with until the siege is ready, at which point the castle will fortify itself in preparation for the siege. As mentioned before, this is of course subject to change, but so far the development team seem happy with the system, but this will be fine-tuned through the alpha and beta test phases. I must say I'm really looking forward to seeing how the final polished product looks. It has me excited and I can't wait for a fresh take on the MMO genre because, let's be honest, it's a little bit stale. Well, that's all from me folks. If you like this video, we will be doing more of them on Ashes of Creation. So don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media. Links in the description below so you don't miss out on anything. Look forward to seeing you out there. Later.